Everyone has long admired Mark Consuelos for the magnetic presence, unassuming power, and carefree charisma that propelled him to stardom. From the heights of soap opera fame into the affections of countless fans, he and Kelly Ripa created a household name in American daytime television. Their relationship went beyond that of a couple. In a field where romance is uncommon, they stood as a symbol of commitment, family, and longevity. Unfortunately, Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa's fairy tale marriage ended in a shocking twist that shocked fans. Even though the announcement went viral, the public's attention was captivated by what transpired next. Walking alone, Mark made his first public appearance after breaking off his relationship with the woman he had been with for almost 30 years. There was more going on here than meets the eye. Meaning, symbolism, and silent perseverance abound in that fleeting moment, taking the plunge into stardom on one's own. There were always cameras and media conjecture whenever Kelly Ripa went out on her own. However, nobody was focusing on her at the moment. They had landed on Mark. Wearing an understated yet put-together ensemble, Mark exuded the same cool assurance that his legion of devoted followers had come to love. Others, though, picked up on something else, a guarded, almost thoughtful energy behind that calm exterior. Is it power, sorrow, or a combination of the two? Going on this adventure was no picnic. With millions of eyes fixed on the Ripa Consuelo love story, Mark saw this as a challenge, a preliminary step. The world was waiting for Mark to say something, but all he did was be silent. It was a generation-defining love story. Mark and Kelly embodied tenacity, which is unusual in Hollywood, for a long time. Contrasted with the glitzy, extravagant nuptials of other famous couples, their modest Las Vegas ceremony marked the beginning of their rapid love affair that began in the mid-1990s. They kept up an air of togetherness and commitment even as Kelly skyrocketed to fame on Live, and Mark had a successful career in movies and television. Along with raising 3 children and lending each other support, they created a brand that stood for more than simply stardom. Above everything else, it revolved around family. It wasn't just simply entertainment for many people in their 60s. Today, thanks to Mark and Kelly, in the face of unrelenting public scrutiny, they managed to juggle marriage, parenthood, and employment. So their breakup wasn't merely rumor. For the devoted followers who had stuck with them for so long, it was a very personal tragedy. The news was very shocking. An intense and rapid response ensued upon hearing of their breakup. Many people expressed their shock and sadness on social media. Fans had been tuning in for years to see Kelly brag about Mark and the couple's life together on TV. Their outward displays of affection, public devotion, and amusing banter suggested an unbreakable relationship. The world, however, knew when that picture broke. The question was, if Mark and Kelly couldn't make it, who could? Maybe what matters most is not the ending at all, but rather the path one takes in the aftermath. The remarkable part of Mark's narrative begins at that point. The unassuming might of Mark. There were no interviews, grand gestures, or phrases that characterized Mark's first public appearance following the breakup. Simplicity and understated strength were its defining characteristics. Destruction was anticipated by everyone. On the contrary, they observed calmness. The footage showed a man who was not broken, but was putting himself back together. He was not one to cower in the shadows or put on an act. He demonstrated instead that strength need not take the form of blatant bravado. A dignified, steady, and silent one is possible. A supporter expressed their admiration for Mark Consuelos' ability to gracefully navigate tragedy in an online post. Nobody can find him. He isn't putting on a show. He's just being himself. Just keep moving. Sometimes that's the strongest thing you can do, another person said. Currently, Mark is instructing us on that very topic. Kelly. In stark contrast, Mark strode out by himself, but Kelly's reaction was unique. She, back on the air, beaming for the cameras as she dove headfirst into her performance. Her public persona was polished, authoritative, and even rebellious at times. Her trademark tenacity was on full display as she walked the walk, driven to demonstrate that life must continue full of energy and vitality. The disparity between Mark's serene demeanor and Kelly's dynamic determination increased the level of fascination. Two people who were once inseparable are now going their separate ways after experiencing heartache. Kelly has been the standard setting for Mark's description for a long time. Her husband, her business associate, and co-star in her guest appearances. But suddenly, he was completely isolated from the spotlight, something that hadn't happened to him in decades. Something potent was there in that silence. He was given the opportunity to reinvent himself. Mark's versatility as an actor has been on full display throughout his career, from Riverdale to All My Children. The focus on this chapter is not on scripts or roles. Being genuine is key. The objective is to reveal his true self apart from the marriage that is searching for him. Mark is supposedly focusing on his kids, self-improvement, and career. According to those close to the marriage, he's avoiding the maelstrom of Hollywood and focusing on family and stability by keeping his group limited, an emblem of perseverance for admirers. Fans in their 60s can relate to Mark's story since they too have been through ups and downs in marriage and reinvented themselves. Divorce, death, or separation are all forms of loss. But this story shows that even the most resilient love stories can change, and that moving forward with dignity and purpose is possible. Mark Consuelos is proving that you can persevere through adversity. Changes can be brought about by it. In the grand scheme of things, the divorce of Mark and Kelly involves more than just two famous people. The story revolves around the timeless themes of love, transformation, and perseverance. The fact that they broke up shows that no relationship is ever easy and casts doubt on the idea of perfect couples. But it serves as a reminder that there are times when endings can actually be the start of something new. Although Mark's marriage may have ended, his story continues. His solitary outing was more than just a walk down the street. It was a signal. Mark Consuelos didn't display any signs of despair or rebellion that day. It was something far deeper and more significant, a man's reserved strength as he starts a new phase of his life. He didn't need to address the cameras. His poise conveyed everything. No, he is not broken. A rebuilding is underway. It was a moving reminder to the millions of viewers that grace can be found even in the midst of tragedy. Mark Consuelos made his first public appearance since the breakup. What are your thoughts on it? Could his composed strength have been an indication of recovery, or could it have been a facade concealing more profound suffering? Post a comment telling us what you think. Contacting us is a pleasure for us. Be sure to subscribe and enable notifications before you go so you won't miss a beat when we share breaking news about your favorite performers. You can rest assured that we will keep you informed at every stage of Mark Consuelos' new chapter, which is just getting started. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos' love story is one of the most famous and iconic in Hollywood, and the world has always appreciated it. But just recently, rumors of sadness become actual events. Fans were shocked to hear rumors of a breakup between the longtime couple, and now Kelly's first public appearance has caused quite a stir online. Kelly strolled gracefully through the busy streets of New York City. Yet there was an evident sadness in the air around her. The beloved TV personality appeared poised and confident as she wore a simple black coat, huge sunglasses to block the sun, and a barely visible smile, seemingly determined to show no weakness in the face of the tempest raging in her private life. Her solitary state was obvious to everyone who looked. Kelly and Mark's friendship was the envy of many for years. They were rarely seen apart, but this time he wasn't there to hold his hand or offer comfort as she walked. Witnesses from a distance described the scene as bittersweet, praising her bravery while lamenting the end of a love story they thought unbreakable. Speculation circulated amongst insiders that the breakup had been simmering for months, characterized by estrangement, stress, and the heavy burden of demanding careers. But the whispers became all too real when Kelly went out on her own. Stay strong, Kelly, one fan said among the many supportive notes that followers posted online. Another said, "We are devastated, but we have faith in your resilience." Kelly's brave public outing not only represents a woman overcoming heartbreak, but also symbolizes independence, perseverance, and the guts to keep going even while everyone is watching. Kelly Ripa's iconic solo walk was a powerful symbol of courage, vulnerability, and the beginning of a new chapter in her inspiring story.